Hey everyone, it is Jamie from Independent Street Tarot and Seasons and Ritual, and we're here to talk about this dark moon in Aries that is today on March 29th. This morning we also had the partial solar eclipse in Aries as well. Here in New Orleans, we weren't able to see it. You could only see it because you weren't in the path. You could only see it, I think, if you were like above Pennsylvania, and then Canada in the United Kingdom, I believe, could see it, but I did watch it when they do those live streams this morning, so that's always fun. So happy Dark Moon. This is a big time right now for ourselves, Aries season and humanity. So first and foremost, we will now start coming out of the eclipse portal. Started with the full moon, ending with the dark moon. And these energies, we do work with both those energies for the next 6 months until we go into the next eclipse season, which will happen in the fall. So the dark moon and eclipse happened at 9 degrees of Aries. And that 9 degrees point is that in the first 10 degrees of Aries is still to me that young energy. Aries is a cardinal sign, so it is the beginning. Aries itself is the first sign in the zodiac. Um, hey girl, I don't know who's honking out there. The first sign in the zodiac. So it is the beginning. Aries represents that I am presence. Um, And so a lot of times I see that Aries energy, especially that young in Aries at that 9 degrees, as that Page of Wands. You know, the Page of Wands is unjaded energy. It is knowing it can do something. It is the big picture. It sees things others can't see. But the main point of it is that unjadedness, that if I say I can do it, I can do it because I know I am. And so it's really important to work with that energy moving forward for the next year, and especially with springtime. The other big news today is Mercury is at 0 degrees of Aries. So again, that 0 degrees point is on the world axis. Those 0 degree points in cardinal signs is the world axis. 0 degrees of Aries is a creation point. So be acutely aware of what you're speaking and what you're thinking. Um, um, Mercury will retrograde back into Pisces where Venus is. But right now, let's really be aware of what we're thinking and speaking because tomorrow on the 30th, Neptune comes into Aries. We'll be at that 0 degree point. And so, and Venus already passed over that 0 degree point. So if you can imagine like them all leaving notes for each other to read, to um, to see what we're talking about, to see what we're going over. This is that time, especially with this dark moon energy being in that void. I was talking to my moon group this morning, and it was like this idea that, the sun and the moon are together, right? So our masculine and feminine are in balance. And then we get to see them sort of eclipse each other. So there is still that darkness that it's happening right now, right? That mystery, the void where things are created. But then we still have the sun there, and that sun is that I am presence, right? That sun is our solar plexus. That sun is our self-esteem. And so we are learning to work with both of those at the same time. That is that masculine energy, which is that I am that moves us forward, and then also that feminine energy, which is the mystery, the creation, um, the feelings, and it's supposed to be meshed into one. I know it gets like robotic when we try to separate them out, but this is really that new beginning, coming into both. Venus, that divine feminine, she had a star point, Venus point when she reached at 2 degrees of Aries. She reached creation point at 0. She's been in inferior conjunction with the sun, so you can't see her, and she's about to reemerge as the morning star. So there's all this reemergence, right? There is all this time of this quote unquote darkness where we can't see th what's happening, right? And then it comes up. So allow yourself to be in this dark moon in this time of great creation to see what is going to come up, what is going to show up, how you're going to start revaluing yourself. That's Venus. She's our values. She's how we value ourselves, how we value our time, how we value money, how we value the other. She's going to emerge here in a couple days. Pisces, and she's in Pisces, so she is exalted, right? All that um, creative feminine energy, being in Pisces, which is consciousness, which is the mystic, which is the realms of beginning and endings. And then Neptune, Pisces, ruler, is crashing into Aries. And I see it. It's like a big wave coming into Aries, coming into this cardinal fire, right? It's time to think differently. It's time to start something new. It's time to understand if you stay conscious, if you understand this, your subconscious, your I am presence is going to be what you want it to be. Okay. And so this is a huge time of starting over, endings, creation. It takes Neptune 165 years to get back to Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So especially right now with Mercury at the 0 degrees, tell yourself, I am consciousness, I am love, I am spirit, I am aware, I am awake. These are really good I am statements to be using at this time. And our friends that have been working on themselves and working with this idea of consciousness, I think are going to have a little bit of an easier time. And this is like, well, no, this is not to say like, oh, I just came into this, and I just started working on myself, that you're going to have an awful time, because the fact that you're already aware that you want to work on things, is half the battle, as they say. And there is so much energy coming into the planet, things are going to speed up. So, which is great news for us who've been doing this for a long time, and great news for people that are just starting to get into this. Remember, Uranus is finally starting to move in Taurus. So all the energy where we felt like, okay, we're ready to move on, we're ready for, new people in our lives or new things to start happening, but we didn't know how to get there. Things are going to start picking up. We're going to start understanding how to get there, right? New information is going to start coming in. And then also, um, Neptune coming into Aries and bringing this consciousness, I really think is going to start to put out the fire of lower Aries, which is, aggression, um, impulsivity, impulsivity. What else can we say about lower Aries? Not thinking things through. I guess that's the same as impulsivity, but sort of like a might makes right, egotistical kind of way. So it's important to see this is going to be a huge tumbling change. Again, if you can think of water coming into fire, or the volcano when it hits the ocean, right? It's creating something new. And you have to remember too, when water and fire meet, it makes steam. We are in this age of Pisces. I mean, we're leaving this age of Pisces and going to this age of Aquarius, which is air. So you can think of that steam. Pluto's in there, right? Pluto rules Scorpio. Scorpio's fixed water, ruler of Pisces, Neptune, mutable water moving into Aries, cardinal fire, because mutable water coming into cardinal fire is there to shake things up, move things around, end things and begin things, right? And that cardinal sign is like, I'm ready for this beginning. Okay. So you guys be gentle with yourselves. It doesn't mean that you might not get irritated, right? Because we are on a 3D planet, and that's totally fine. But the idea of having that consciousness to see what it is that's irritating you, to see if you can tell yourself, maybe I do need some more rest, and try to, instead of trying to push through it because that's what we're supposed to do, it's just bringing this consciousness into this cardinal fire, and this cardinal fire is ready for it. The planet's ready for it. We're ready for it. So accept it. Work with this dark moon energy of rest, listening to your heart, listening to yourself, what it is that when you say I am, it makes you feel good moving forward. I am light, I am listening, I am understanding, I am forgiving, all those I am statements. Start writing them down. Um, because this is a great time of creation. Everything's hitting that 0 degrees of Aries. The last thing I want to say about the planets is that Venus is retrograded back into Pisces. She's exalted in this water sign. And then Mars, who is direct, is about to go into Leo, where he's exalted. So again, it is this balance of this masculine and feminine coming in. It is this balance of this water sign, which is feminine, coming into Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So Mars is going to be hanging out in Leo, right? Mars rules Aries. The sun rules Leo, so they're going to be in not mutable conjunction. What do you call that when they're favorable of each other? I don't know. Someone write in the comments. And so, but Neptune coming in there is going to what's going to change this. Consciousness is what's going to change this. Mars being out of bound in Cancer for 6 months has changed him. And so that's why his pupil or his student, or however you want to say the relationship between Mars and Aries, Aries is ready for this water to come in because his ruler has already gone through his baptism in Cancer. And so Aries is getting ready for his baptism by Neptune. So this is all actually working together. The places, and just know where there is this creation, I mean, it can be hard, right? Because we're creating something new. We're starting new patterns. We're ending old patterns that we do not like anymore and that do not align with us, that have been on this planet for thousands and thousands of years, So meet this with excitement, meet the challenge with that I am presence, with that unjaded page of wands who sees the big picture, who knows there can be better, who knows that it can get things done if it stays in its desire. Okay, meet it with that and give your guys self some grace because things are moving. Okay, right. So I decided to pull a card. It's from the Luna deck, and we got the moon. And I was like very interesting. Um, so like I hold it up so you guys can see. It's a really pretty card. And the moon and the way that she is represented here is as Diana or Artemis. She's the hunter, right? And it is this idea of this water energy. The moon is ruled by Cancer, right? And we just said Mars was in Cancer for 6 months. But it is this water energy. It is this creation. It is this the mystery, right? It is water, Neptune coming into Aries, water coming into that fire, because we've got to create something new. But it's also reminding us that this feminine energy is fierce. This feminine energy is the hunter. This feminine energy knows how to take care of things. This feminine energy knows how to protect. Okay? And we've got to start working with that and seeing it as that. The part of our feminine side in creating is also this warrior, this protection, right? Listening to that intuition to where to shoot the bow. She doesn't miss. Okay, she doesn't miss. Um, and being okay with that. And that masculine side, being okay with that. That masculine side when it wants to hunt, when it wants to, this is who the soldiers prayed to in Roman times, right? Before the battlefield. And they would look, and if they saw an owl, they knew Diana was on their side. They knew Artemis was there. They knew they were going to be victorious. So this isn't like out of the realms of just like, this is so weird. No, we've been in this energy and then we kind of skirted around it and then we have completely separated from it, but it's still there. It's still there. So work with this warrior energy, work with that I am presence. The I am presence is ready for this moon, ready for that creativity, ready for the mystery, right? Ready for the intuition. Okay. All right, friends, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay dry. I know there's supposed to be storms. Storms are coming in, baby. Okay, until then, I'll see you guys in a couple days. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. This is bananas energy, but this is the times that we decided to live in. So give you guys a pat on the back. You're doing a great job. Okay, till next time.